Yeah. Thank you for having us today.
Yes. So tell me about your journey with creating music. What ignited that passion for music for each of you?
Michael,
Uh,
it's your birthday, so you go first.
I mean, when I grew up as a
Lee.
like when I grew up, I had a lot of friends who were very good at music, and we would always go to their house on like a Friday or a weekend, and there'd be these parties where everyone would just grab an instrument and start jamming all the time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do any of those things, so eventually I just kind of figured I wanted to learn something so I could do something and be able to join in with them. So eventually I learned how to like just play drums by just watching, and then this would eventually lead to me screaming, and then kind of leading to where I am today. Because now a lot of those friends are professional musicians themselves. So
Nice.
yeah.
I started playing saxophone in like the fourth grade, so I just started playing all sorts of instruments. I actually ended up going to university for music, and I wanted to be a teacher, but that didn't happen because university is very expensive. But I just was really into music always growing up and playing a lot of stuff like that. So I just kept doing it. And now here we are.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was like 11, 12, 13. I went to a lot of shows. I saw people playing shows and I was like, ooh, I want to play music.
Yeah.
That looked fun. So that's pretty much it.
I mean, that sounds more like my story.
I started,
actually.
yeah.
I feel like that's more happened with me. Change mine.
So who does the lyric writing?
Uh,
Or do you should kind of share duties on that?
I mean, in this process with the new EP, there's one song where all of us and the producer wrote together,
Hmm?
and then that song was Usurper. And then there was also, but for the most part, it's primarily Adam and I writing our parts.
Hmm.
Sometimes I'll write an idea for Adam, and every once in a while, Adam will actually have a line or two that I'll use. So,
Okay, so this question is more for you. How do you approach the songwriting process and where do you get your inspiration?
uh, this time around, I pulled out from what the things I was feeling at that time and what I was going through. So this time, more or less, with the new songs, it's just been super relatable issues, I guess, that everyone goes through.
Hmm.
So I mean, so like hard times and like trying to like with Drown, when we were in the studio, we wrote it on the spot. So Adam and I were saying, well, what do you want to write about? And I said, well, let's write about someone in a dark place, but they'll find light in the darkest of places or something like that. And
Yeah.
basically, it was just an optimistic song trying to prevent like suicidal tendencies and things like of that such. So,
Yeah.
but for the most part, I don't know. I just got for me, it's just what I'm going through as of lately. So
Mm.
that's what I go about.
Okay. So about Drown, can you talk about the creative process behind it? How did the rest of the song come together?
Well, originally Drown was two songs. So we ended up just mashing them together in the studio. Instead of doing two separate songs, we made one. And then that kind of inspired the instrumentals, more or less. I mean, these guys, Eric would be the better one to talk about that, but
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of the instrumentals for Drowned, Usurper, and two more songs that we have yet to announce that were recorded in Nashville with our friend Jonathan at Concrete Studios. So leading up to that, we had written, a handful of tracks and kind of showed up with a bunch of five songs, a couple of kind of just garbage riffs, I guess, like things that never fully turned into songs.
Yeah.
And then we just started picking through everything and we were like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. And then we wrote, like a more relatable chorus while we were there. And it all just kind of melted together into what Drowned is instrumentally now, which we just
Mhm.
wanted to kind of give Adam a chance to shine a little bit more on Drown. Because that's one of our probably more singing, like clean vocal present songs. So there was a lot of empty, open, wide space for that, especially in the chorus and verse type stuff, which is different than our last single, Usurper, which was all screaming and really heavy.
Yeah. I like that.
So We just kind of wanted to put Drowned Out as a follow-up to kind of contrast the two, I guess.
Yeah.
And then going forward, we have, like we try to write with a good mix of both like the clean and the heavy parts.
Mm-hmm.
But we're feeling pretty heavy these days. So.
Yeah.
Life gets pretty heavy. You gotta match it.
Yeah.
So what with the next releases, which direction do you plan to go in?
We were actually, I just got a voice message from Jonathan, our producer, and he was talking about trying to keep focus on the chaotic stuff that we're really good at, but hone in on more powerful soaring choruses, but also aim for something that sounds different and not, I guess, as typical, and maybe something that's not like a 10-year-old sound, more or less. So I think so. I don't even think we know exactly where the direction's going to go yet, but it's exciting to get to start talking about it. And so I know we're in discussions about recording one song.
So yeah, and then we have two other songs kind of like sitting ready to go. So the follow-up to Drowned, we're gonna put out. We don't know when just yet, but that one is kind of more heavy, more comparable to Usurper, because at the time those were written, we were all kind of feeling the same kind of way. And then another one of those songs is also more comparable to Drown, with a lot of big choruses and things. So I want to say, like, currently we have those two contrasting styles that we're kind of fighting with the writing. And then going forward, we just really want to sit down and kind of spend a little bit of extra time and really hone in on like a more matured sound for the next couple things. I'm not quite sure how we're going to get there though.
Okay.
It's one of those things that just kind of happens when you sit down and do it.
Yeah.
We're not very mature, so
no,
it's okay.
I'll leave it up to the producer who's younger than us. But no.
Do you have anything that you do together as a band that helps to keep you motivated and creative? It could be anything from things you listen to together, things you watch, like.
We do a lot of group crying.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, Mike and I live together, and Jordan and I work together. So essentially, like, Adam lives a little kind of far away from us, but essentially we're together like almost every day. So we share the majority of our day-to-day lives with each other. So whatever's going on personally, like relationships, hardships, stress at work, we've had stresses in the past with like the music industry in general. That's mainly what Usurper's about. Things like that, we've ended up having we have each other to bounce a lot of that stuff off of, so we're able to turn that around and kind of put that into music depending on what it is. Like, especially like throughout the pandemic, we all kind of like struggled with like feeling a little lost and like purposeless. But since we all had each other every day, it wasn't as bad, but we still, with no music, we were able to kind of like start thinking about that. And that's how we wrote some of our previous releases that we had put out over the pandemic, around those feelings.
I know we go to shows together and stuff too, and I know that like, me and this guy will play video games together, and then we'll all go like mountain biking together and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it feels more like we're friends like most days than in a band, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I think we are probably just friends more so than anything. That's what makes it work, I think.
Yeah.
Well, at least it makes it so we can live in a van together.
Yeah.
We all sound like we hate each other, which I mean, we might at that moment, but
yeah,
we're able to not break up because of it. So,
yep.
So this next question may be a tough question at the moment, but when fans recommend The Northern to others, what song do you think would be the best introduction to your music?
I was gonna say a joke, but I won't.
Oh, yeah, don't say that song. Honestly, I think if you want to be reflective of the kind of the direction that we feel is most true to ourselves, I would say like Usurper is probably the most accurate as of right now. However, I think most people started listening to us, like we put out Solstice, and then we followed it up with a single, Samsara, which was when Mike had joined the band. And I believe that was probably most people's introduction to the Northern, kind of that like techie, genty, fast metalcore type sound. So I would say, like, if you're thinking overall, most people have probably heard Samsara first, but if it's day and date today, I'd say like Usurper is probably the most representative of our current view on music and how we take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Usurper is actually the first one I heard.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
Thank you.
How do you keep your music fresh and relevant in an ever-changing industry? Or is that the question itself? How, trying to figure that out.
Jonathan.
Yeah, our producer is awesome. Jonathan is not afraid, like with these past few releases, like Usurper, Drowned, Hourglass, and some other songs we have coming up. Like when we were working with Jonathan, he's not afraid to be like, yo,
this is shit.
Don't do that. That sucks.
Yeah.
Let's delete 25 bytes of music.
But like having that,
show something completely new.
Yeah, like having that extra having that extra mind that's like an outside, sometimes you spend like too close to the cooking, I guess, where then you start not sure, is this good? Is it bad? Is it old? Is it like new? Is it fresh? Like then it's nice to, after you work on like, some songs we work on and revisit for months and months and months, and you hear it so many times you just can't do anything to it anymore. Mm-hmm. You take it to someone fresh, like Jonathan, our producer, who's great because he also, he helps with writing and recording and, everything that we need to do. But whenever we bring something to him, he's like able to be like, yeah, you tried too hard on that, because
yeah,
which is really nice to hear, because
he says it in a nice way though. It's not like,
yeah,
he's not like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, but it's nice to to be like, hey, like let's revisit this or work on that, and the fresh set of ears is really great to have in a writing process.
It's that Southern boy accent. You can just sweet talk you into anything.
You're down there, you don't have much time to think about all the directions certain things could go, so it's more or less a go and think less. And I think that's kind of what made the magic of these 4 songs.
Yeah, that's my favorite part about traveling to record. Mm-hmm. Is when you're in it, there's you can't go home every night. You're not distracted by I gotta go get groceries after this, or I gotta go, my car's almost out of gas, like I gotta go do chores, errands, gotta come home, feed my dog, like all sorts of things. Like when we fly to Nashville, it's just music we can focus on. So mm-hmm. So when we're all together and we just have a fresh take on something and it's the only thing we can focus on, it really helps us like hone in on everything we need to be thinking about while we're writing.
Yeah.
Can you share any interesting or surprising facts about each other or about Adam, since he's not here? So just anyone in the band or the band as a whole.
Adam sweats disgusting amounts when he plays live.
Oh, you're burying him.
Like disgusting amounts. And you know what? He's normally not like a sweaty dude. It's just when he plays live, he can like wring his shirt out with a steady stream of sweat. So that's one Adam fact.
And then his show shirt becomes nasty after a solid week or 2 or 3.
Yeah. We in the van, we have these like laundry lines that we kind of
around
like
the
hang
perimeter
around.
of the
Yeah,
van.
it's like it's strung all the way around the outside of the van, and we just hang all our clothes in it. And then after like the week, the van's like not nice in the slightest. So I guess that's kind of,
we will do laundry on the road though.
Yeah,
we did in New Mexico once.
We'll get a loaf of bread in the beginning of a tour and we'll tie it to the line and we'll forget about it, and then just like at the end of the tour there's just a loaf of bread that's made its way down the line to like the back of the van. It's been punched a bunch, like a punching bag.
People lay on it, they get smooshed, so we have to
but then people also just hit it.
Well, if you see a loaf of bread hanging around, you gotta punch it.
You gotta give it a little
it's a punching loaf.
Give it a little squeeze,
I'm not sure that one would have occurred to me. Oh, loaf of bread.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, there's an account on TikTok called Food Punch,
Oh.
and it's a favorite of mine. It's just a guy who punches people's food at like family functions.
Oh.
It's really funny. I don't know. Well, it's not that funny.
It's funny.
I think it's funny.
I think it'd be funny the first time. I don't know how many times after that it would be funny. Like if you know it's coming.
Yeah, it's just like a cake at a birthday. They're singing, and he
Yeah.
just runs up and punches the cake as hard as he can. Like just ruins someone's birthday, you know?
So what bands have been inspiring you guys lately?
Void of Vision, North Lane, New Silent Planet.
The new Silent Planet's really good.
Yeah.
For me, probably just the Ghost Inside at the moment. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
I've been loving Void of Vision. I really like this band Throne. They're awesome. They're kind of like more hardcore metal than anything else. They're pretty cool. Um, yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been listening to too much music lately, to be honest. I've been listening to more podcasts and
Lots of UFO podcasts.
yeah, UFO stuff.
Yeah,
Tom DeLonge was
it.
right.
Yeah, David Grush.
Where do you see yourselves in 5 years, like musically? Where do you want the band to go?
Well, it'd be great if we were, on a bus in Europe somewhere.
Yeah,
but
Festivals.
yeah,
Yeah.
realistically, like I'd love to get on some bigger festival dates. I'd like to travel by seeing like something outside of our normal
Continent.
North American culture, like going somewhere cool, like
Get off the continent.
yeah, like I'd love to tour like Eastern Europe or like Brazil or somewhere cool like Southeast Asia, Japan, like something crazy, but that's far more difficult to pull off than
Yeah. I want to play one show with pyrotechnics. Just one. Just one.
Yeah, that'd be
Mhm.
nice. To get
Just
that, just
one.
get that ability
yeah.
once.
I've only ever played shows where people shoot fireworks at you. It had nothing to do with the music. It's just
Yeah. So how long have you guys been a band?
So the Northern started in 2013 as kind of like a studio project with our old vocalist Nick. That was kind of like a side thing for them. And then around 2016, Nick decided, that he wanted to kind of take a full shake at turning the like a studio band into like a full band.
Mhm.
So he approached Jordan, who I knew somewhat. I had known for maybe 2 years on and off, like just from around. And then I had come off a tour with another band, which is where I met Adam. We both did a fill-in for a band called The Prestige. They were on Media Scare Records. So we did like a 2-month tour with them. And when we had come back, I saw Jordan at a burrito place and he's like, we need a guitarist. And I'm like, great. That tour was so bad. I was just on Everyone Quit. So I'm in.
Yeah.
So then, we started writing a bit. The guy that, Nick was trying out a bunch of different people. And eventually we landed on, I was like, you know what? Adam's good and he can sing. So we wanted that. And then we pulled in the bass player from my previous band, Gordon, to start. And then we wrote Solstice together. And shortly after, we parted ways with Nick. Mike joined, and the rest, we put out Samsara, and now we're here.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a lengthy explanation, but this band's had a lot of kind of rotating members through their studio phase.
Yeah.
But
we've had a lot of fill-in basses, just kind of.
Yeah, we
did like it better without a bassist, I guess. So
Yeah.
Don't seem to like us.
it feels better on stage, I guess. We don't play very big stages, so the four of us on stage together, it just kind of works.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not big. We played a couple big stages recently.
We played a couple big stages, but I mean,
I
still
like a 4-piece. We have a Magic.
Yeah.
Actually, funny enough, when Eric and Adam did that separate tour together in two separate bands, my band ended up playing a show on that same tour with them. So we all played
Oh wow.
different bands in one room at one point,
Yeah.
without knowing that this would ever happen.
That was in 2014.
The Cage.
Yeah.
What a terrible venue.
Maybe you were meant to form this way sooner.
Yeah.
To meet and be like, hey, let's make another band, or
Yeah.
together.
Well, worked out.
All right. So my last question for you guys is, for anyone who may not have heard of the Northern yet, what would you say to them? Why should they check you out?
We're very, very handsome Canadian men.
Oh
They
man,
make good sounds.
I got nothing after that.
We don't wear Canadian tuxedos.
No.
It's a misleading lie.
Yeah, honestly, we're not trying to do anything like special or different or too crazy, but we just want to take what we personally want to hear and what we love, and then just do it our own way. And we hope that people kind of feel that way about a lot of music. So, and then hopefully we write some lyrics that people can connect with and enjoy. But mostly we're just four dudes who like to have a lot of fun. We love meeting people and hanging out with our friends. So I find out that our live shows are probably the funnest part of our existence. Yeah, we've got everybody yapping on the internet. Not sure how that started, but here we are.
Yeah.
So if you ever go into the comment sections on anything, you'll see people just going yep on everything, and
a little inside joke.
Yeah. So we always try to get people doing that. I don't know. Our shows are really fun. We love hanging out with people. We're here to make a lot of friends. So we just want to welcome everybody into our group and feel like we're part of a community together. So
I think I don't know. We're like, our music's really serious, but we're not serious people. So it's kind of a fun contrast, if that makes sense. Like, to hear a serious song, but in between we're like dancing like idiots, or like, humping each other and shit. Like, I don't know.
But you kind of have to hump.
Yeah, I mean, people take things so seriously. It's nice to make a couple jokes here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, you have anything to add?
Oh, not really.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's nice meeting
All right,
you.
and happy birthday again.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Take care, guys.
Cheers. Thanks for having us. Good night.
All right. Bye.